the Council, and I give the floor to His Excellency, Mr. Sergei Lavrov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation.
Thank you, President. Colleagues, first and foremost, I'd like to thank John Kerry for his initiative to conduct today in New York the third meeting of the ISSG. This has been a time to meet in this room. The meeting of the ISSG underscored the commitment of all its participants to the Vienna process. The resolution just adopted approved the 14 November 2015 agreement that spoke of a way to implement the Geneva Communiqué from 30 June 2012. Here it's clearly set forth, first and foremost, that all three documents are a single platform for resolving the bloody Syrian crisis. Secondly, that the Vienna format is the only one which will bring together all influential foreign players to ensure a context for sustainable and fair settlement through talks between the government of the Syrian Arab Republic and the whole span of the opposition. The resolution provides an international law weight to collective work for such negotiations under the SRSG, Staffan de Mistura. Here it is underscored that only Syrian-led inclusive dialogue can put an end to the untold suffering of the Syrian people. Here there is also affirmation of the fundamental principles of the political settlement, namely that Syria should remain unified, secular, pluri-religious, and pluri-ethnic, comfortable and safe for all groups of its people. Only the Syrian people itself can define its future. This is a clear response to attempts to impose a solution from the outside on Syrians on any issues, including those regarding its president. This approach is enshrined in the Geneva Communiqué, as well as in the document of the ISSG and in today's resolution. Furthermore, we're all united on the front that terrorists of all stripes have no place in the talks, just the same as those who would like a military solution to the crisis. The unanimous adoption today on the Council has created a broad counterterrorism front on the basis of the UN Charter, on the basis of all of those who are pushing back against terror on the ground, including the Syrian army, the Turkish army, the armed militias, and the parts of the Syrian opposition, as well as the Russian air forces in response to the legitimate request of the Syrian Arab Republic. An important role here should be played, as we heard through the Russian and U.S. proposed resolution aimed at strengthening control or oversight over the financing of ISIL and such terrorist groups, cutting off channels for their financing, first and foremost through cutting out the illegal trade in oil. Combating terrorism should be consistent and selfless, be it in Syria or anywhere else. It is inadmissible to divide terrorists amongst good and bad ones. The resolution underscores that there's a need to provide humanitarian assistance to the Syrian people. This should be presented on the basis or strict compliance with the guiding principles of the United Nations, enshrined in GA resolutions and Security Council resolutions, including the principle of the agreement of the host country. It is important that today on the Security Council, once again, there was a repetition of the need to uphold the sovereignty of the Syrian Arab Republic. The adopted resolution enshrines the Security Council's oversight over the results achieved in the implementation of the Vienna Agreement with international support. The Secretary General and his special representatives or envoys, but Staffan de Mistura, will play a leading role in organizing and conducting the negotiations with the Syrian opposition, those in Moscow, Cairo, Damascus, El Riyadh, Haseki, and other places. We are counting on balanced recommendations from the Secretariat to the Security Council regarding necessary steps to be taken in all areas agreed upon in Vienna. We're convinced that our colleagues in Mr. de Mistura's team will heed these instructions